Alright, hey guys, what's up? It's me Shobit and I'm back again with another video. So we have become a community of 600 members now, and more than 600 actually, and I can see progress, 3 or 4, 5 more people subscribing almost every day, and I'm really so much thankful to you guys. Alright, so this video, it's gonna be about creatine, right? So creatine, one of the most famous supplements in the bodybuilding industry, and not just in the bodybuilding industry, actually in many sports industries. Creatine is the supplement which is the second most famous one after whey protein. This is my creatine and this is my whey protein. It's heavy. So yeah, the supplements I use, guys, just in case you want to know, I use creatine, I use whey protein, and it's not a supplement, just Nescafe. So I have like a sachet before my workout, so that's my pre-workout. And then peanut butter, I don't think it's a supplement. So peanut butter and just simple things like honey, haldi. I like fruits, good vegetables, chicken. These are the things that you can shop online at Amazon or on Flipkart or shops. So these are not illegal. But still, many people, in fact, most of the Indian mothers, like my mother, had a doubt, once that what is creatine, why are we ingesting it? And most of the other parents usually. So if you're a kid who's watching this video, or if you're a parent of a kid, who's doubtful about whether his or her son or her daughter is intaking creatine, so just relax. It's not a steroid. Steroids are something completely on different scale. So first thing is that creatine, it's FDA approved, so no need to worry, and it's legal, so that's why you can shop it on Amazon. So alright, so this video I'm gonna break down everything I know about creatine, and so it will be divided into 5 main questions. So starting with the video now, guys, first question is that what is creatine? Alright, so creatine, it's an organic molecules. It's a peptide, which means it's kind of like a protein, and it is synthesized in our liver and kidneys and then transported to the areas which needs it. So it's synthesized in our own bodies, right? You can also get creatine from various other sources like beef, chicken and fish, and you can also get it from dairy. So creatine, it's majorly comes from animal sources of food. In fact, there was a study in a university in which there were 2 groups. Alright, so the first group, they had both. They had the animal sources of food as well as the plant-based source of food. And the second group, well, they just had the plant-based source. And at the end of the research, at the end of the the tenure that they were taken in for, the researchers observed that the people who had the more balanced diet, both animal and both plant-based food, had much greater concentration of creatine in their bodies when compared to people with only plant-based foods. But now both these groups were again given the same dosage of creatine for a specific time, and it was found that the amount of creatine is same in both these groups. Alright, so question number 2 is that what does creatine do? Right, so let's say, for example, let me take this apple, and let's say I'm ingesting this apple, right? So I'll just have a bite. It's not clean, so I won't have a bite right now, but let's say I'm ingesting this apple. So what happens to this? It goes inside my body, it goes inside my stomach, different acids in my stomach work on it. It breaks down this apple into very small particles, and which basically gives glycogen stores, right? So the glycogen stores in my body rises. Now, what happens is that the primary source of energy in our body is ATP, which is adenosine triphosphate, and this ATP is formed by the combination of ADP, which is adenosine diphosphate, and a phosphate ion. So as diphosphate, 2 phosphate ions plus another phosphate ions gives ATP, which is adenosine triphosphate, which means 3 phosphate ions. Now, this ATP goes, for example, let's say now when does the body require ATP is that, for example, you do any kind of activity, like right now I'm speaking, Right, so I'm using different muscles of my body. I'm using my throat, I'm using my tongue, I'm using my brain to put out the words in action, right? So all these, they need energy, and this energy comes from ATP. So what happens is that ATP goes to these places, it breaks down again into ADP, and some energy is released. This energy helps me to do the things I do in walking or any kind of activity, for example deadlifting, let's say. Now this cycle keeps on repeating. This ADP plus the phosphate ion gets from somewhere else, and then again from ATP. So what creatine does is that when you consume creatine, so creatine, it combines with phosphate and it becomes a compound which is known as phosphocreatine. Alright, so creatine in our body is not just creatine, it's basically phosphocreatine. Now this phosphocreatine, now when it comes in contact with ADP, it breaks down. The ADP takes the phosphate ion from the creatine, so from the phosphocreatine, and the creatine just goes away. So it's basically like a carrier of that phosphate ion. Now this ADP again reacts with that phosphate ion obtained from phosphocreatine and forms ATP, which is adenosine triphosphate. Now it's like a recycling of energy, and the cycle just becomes faster. Now for example, say let's say that you were doing 10 reps of deadlift for 100 kgs, right? So the next time that you have consumed creatine and then you go to the gym, hit that weight, you'll probably end up doing 15 reps. Who can say? Question number 3 is that what is the time of the day that you should take creatine? Guys, there is no perfect time. So I usually have it post-workout, but you can have it, pre-workout, you can have it when you go to sleep, you can have it when you wake up. So there is no specific time to take creatine, and how much you should take is 5 grams per day. Alright, so the next question is that does creatine make you fat? So guys, it does not make you fat. In fact, most of the people have this doubt that it will make you bloated because it holds water. Creatine has water retention properties. Well, it does have water retention properties, but the water that it holds is inside the muscles. So the fat that you're talking about, which will make your abs go away if you're so much worried about the abs, or make your shreds go away, is this fat, which is called the subcutaneous fat, right? Creatine does not have any effect on the subcutaneous fat. Alright, so the next question is that does creatine help you in gaining lean mass? Well, from the studies and from the research that I have done for this video, creatine does not directly help you in gaining lean mass. I mean, there are no studies which show that, but creatine does help you to gain more strength, to gain more energy, and this energy you use to lift more weight, right? And the more weight you lift, for the more number of reps you do, indirectly creatine does help you to gain lean mass. If you haven't still subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe. A lot of great content is on the way, guys. I'm going to talk about running, I'm going to talk about motivation. That's basically it. Thank you for watching the video, by the way.